What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN, OnyxCoin yet again. Here we are at 2.35 cents right now, looking like we want to have that last little descent down, right? Each time we're coming up, we're getting a little bit of volume. We move up from our lows, but it's just not enough to get that continuation. So we roll over and then we find our next low and we get that volume to come up, and it's just not enough to get continuation. It's just another lower high. So what do? We're going to roll over. We're just waiting for it. And I think, I don't know, maybe I like to think I'm more important than I am. But I wonder if we were all more bullish, if at this price area we were like, it's gonna break, it's gonna go to the upside, if everybody was under that impression, where I feel like some of us, at least the people watching this channel, we've definitely been prepared for a move to the downside. I wonder if because of that, the market makers, they're I just wonder if we were more bullish, if we would have seen this drop happen already, or if because we're expecting it, it's a little bit more tricky. I don't know. Maybe they're not paying attention to these videos at all. I have no idea, but all I'm trying to say is it seems, to me at least, it feels like this drop, it's still happening. The charts look like it's still happening. The RSI, the indicators, everything, it makes sense that we still go lower. It's just like, why haven't we? And sure, we're getting lower lows and lower highs, but I'm expecting more of a drop like this to happen, or like this to happen. This is just so slow, and I'm fine with that. But I just want it to be done with already, man. Get down there, move up, whatever. I think I forgot to say this, you guys, but hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Let's continue onward now. Okay, so from this relative low to this relative high, the relative low that we had here on the 3rd of February to the relative high that we had on that same day. We're at the golden ratio. We had that little bounce there. Generally speaking, if you bounce off the golden ratio, you do expect to find resistance at the 0.5 or the 382 area. Bouncing at the 382 does leave the door open a little bit to see some progression higher, while rejecting off the 0.5 tends to be a very strong indication that you will go lower. If we are to go lower, the target area, the next target area would be likely not the golden zone. You've already hit that, but likely, and it's possible, you could find support there again and then move up, right? But likely it'd be to the 786 to the 886 area. Being that we're on a 1 hour time frame, kind of looking at this trajectory here, it doesn't seem like if we were to draw, okay, if you were to draw a straight line here for resistance, and then you were to draw a straight line here for resistance, and then you were to draw a straight line here for resistance, right? You can see it's like these resistance lines, they keep sloping down slowly. Maybe I should go up here. I don't know. They start to slope down more as time goes on. It's almost like we're rolling over. Does that make sense? So at the current trajectory, we might expect, and that's not the best way of drawing it, but we might expect to see this, Wednesday the 12th, which would be if today's Tuesday the 11th, so tomorrow we would expect to be down here. But if it's in more of a parallel path, which that parallel path was not drawn the best, that's a little bit better, but still sometime Wednesday, maybe early Thursday is when we'd expect to have that. But being that there is that little bit of a curve, I think expecting it to happen potentially early Wednesday, if not late today, would be a better exception or expectation to have. I do think that we're going to hit the 2 cent to 1.95 cent area. I'm actually very confident that we go right to that 886 line and we start that move down today. We might have it. We might have the low today. If not today, very early tomorrow, but I think it's coming pretty soon, within the next 24 to 36 hours for sure. And will we go below 2 cents, I guess, is the big question. I don't even know if it's that big of a question, man, because if we do, it's not going to be that much. 1.95, I very much doubt we go below here. If we go below there, I would love it. I genuinely would love it if we went back to 1.5 cents, man. That would give me a good opportunity to get in, to give us all an opportunity to get in, but I don't think we're going to get it. I truthfully think that we will move down to 2 cents, 1.9 cents. I'm going to move on from this, okay, because I think we've beat that over the head enough. Again, I think if you were to go higher, you would have done it already. I think things are looking still more bearish than bullish on the 1 hour time frame. We look at the 4 hours, still more bearish than bullish, but hey, what do we got here? Let's see. You do have bullish divergence. It's not confirmed. It's not actually on there until we get a green candle. And yes, that last 4 hour candle closed green, but it was pretty neutral. It doesn't count, man. You do have higher lows in your RSI while having lower lows in your price. So we're getting near the end of this, you guys. But with those wicks, with that very big wick there, and then just the way this 4 hour looks like it's going to end, we got 53 minutes left. I assume this really could be the day, man. If not, I would think very early tomorrow, but I really think this could be the day. Within the next 8 hours, maybe in the next 12 hours, we could see this onslaught to the downside happen. The 4 hours close. I expect that if this move happens, it will be a bit of a wick to the downside, and we'll probably close that 4-hour candle, whatever candle it is, whether it's this one or the next one or the one afterwards. We'll probably wick down to 2 cents or just below 2 cents, and then close back above 2.2 cents is what I'm thinking. We'll probably close around this low here, but wick lower than it. That's what I'm thinking, okay? And that'll probably all happen within the next 36 hours, man. The reason why I think closing around here, closing a candle around there, but not lower, is a good thing, is it gives us that bullish divergence on the 4-hour. But you don't need bullish divergence to find a low, man. It's nice to have. It's a good signal. And right now we have that signal, but it's not confirmed until we get a green candle. And it's certainly from a 4-hour perspective and a 1-hour perspective, I don't think we're going to get it. So don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged if we do close lower. If this 4-hour bullish divergence goes away, we get a lower low. Oftentimes, it's whenever you have these very obvious looks of bullish divergence. It's oftentimes actually that as soon as you get rid of it, as soon as you get that lower low, that's whenever things reverse. I wonder if do we have an example of it right here, right? Like a lower low right there. Yeah, that's when things reverse. Is once you got the lower low. I don't know. There was no bullish divergence there to begin with, but still, you didn't need bullish divergence to see this phenomenal move up. You know what I mean? So, looking at the daily time frame, looking at the RSI here, we are getting below the 50. We've cooled way the hell off, you guys. I love this. I really do love this because I remember, and if you don't remember this, let me just explain, right? At the end of January here, I was concerned about moving up higher because we moved up higher, and that's nice. It's always nice to move up higher. We went from, prices below 1.5 cents all the way up to prices that were just below 5 cents. Like that was great growth. But I was concerned that something like this, being this extended, reaching for it again and getting that lower high there, I was concerned that would lead to a pretty sustainable downtrend, and it did in the RSI. But thankfully, the price has been rather resilient. So we've consolidated by means of time with this consolidation phase, right? The reason I was worried was I thought this consolidation phase would be a lot smaller in time. So if it was going to be smaller in time, but we would cool off in the RSI, it would have to be a rather intense move down. But moving sideways slowly, consolidating high and tight like this, getting your RSI to have lower lows while you have higher lows in the price, it's actually a really good thing, very bullish thing. And then beyond all of that, you've cooled way the hell off. You're back at the areas where you kind of started your last move. Even lower than that, I think, yeah. Or even lower than that in the RSI. Very nice area to bounce. We could go a little bit lower and close and find support off the 40. I don't think we do because a move, I think to get down there, I mean, maybe. If we were to do that, man, we'd have to close the day, like today, below 2 cents. Or we'd have to keep moving and bleeding sideways slowly but surely for like the next week if we wanted to get down there. So I don't think that's going to happen. But still, regardless, whether we move a little bit lower or we bounce either today or tomorrow, soon enough, we're probably right in that nice area to find support a little bit higher, whatever. But we're kind of finding higher lows throughout this whole range anyway. So it might make sense that we find support here a little bit higher. Likely, we're going to get ready to move up higher. If we take this low to this high here, just kind of draw it. Let's try and draw these in a straight line. Let me just see real quick. Low to high there. Just from a low to high perspective, low to high there. So that took, let's just see how much time if we compared both of them together. Basically the same amount of time, a little bit longer, right, in time, but this one was more intense on growth. If we started to turn around here, that would imply that our peak in the RSI, if we just go off of what we saw the last couple times, from a time perspective, it might happen sometime in mid-March. Yeah, sometime in mid-March. The peak in the RSI here, though, that was your high, relatively speaking. The peak in this RSI was not your relative high, right? It was a relative high to this for like 4 days, but then you moved up higher. So just because we peak here potentially in mid-March, doesn't mean that the move has to end, but rather suggestive, just basing it again off of the last two movements that we've seen from these very similar areas in the RSI to the overbought zone, which I'm thinking we're going to see, basing it off of that from both a growth perspective and a time perspective, it would make sense that this next move comes to full maturity, likely in the middle of March, if not the end of March. So that's what my expectation would be. If we're going to begin this next move, and I think we will begin this next move soon, beginning to middle of March, that just, it makes me curious, man, because that's a lot of time, right? It didn't take us beginning to middle of March, or even the late parts of March right now. That's over a month away. And if we're going to begin this move, we're going to find the low and start building out within the next couple days or this week. That's a lot of time to grow, right? We saw a 25x in a 2-week period. I don't think we're going to see the same type of growth. I do think, you know, from an overall growth percentage, we've got a lot to go, but I think it's going to be slower, more methodical. By the end of this move, I want to stick with it. I really do think that by the end of this move, which will be sometime in mid-March, I think we'll be above 20 cents. But by the end of February, I think we'll be closer to that 9 to 10 cent area, because I think this move is going to get started soon. And we can move a lot in a very short amount of time. We essentially have this week, which is 5 days, 21 hours left. Next week, the week after. So we have this week and then 2 weeks left after that, and then February is over. Okay, so about 2.5 weeks left in February, maybe 3 weeks. Let's say there's 3 weeks left in February. Okay. In that time, I'm suspecting we grow less than what we saw last time. So something at or around 10 cents is what I would expect. And I think we begin that move now. Not now, but today. We'll begin that move essentially once we get above, what is it, 4.2 cents? I remember it was some kind of funny number. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. I thought it was like a funny number like that. High to low. 4.4 cents. 4.4 cents. When we get above 4.4 cents, that's when we know it's time to start moving up higher, right? And we could probably even get excited for that once we break out of this kind of downtrend here. Once we get above, I would say about 3 cents, it's probably time to start getting excited again. But all that to say, my friends, I think we're beginning our final onslaught to the downside. It's not going to be too dramatic at all. At least I don't expect it to be. The more dramatic it is, the more excited I will be. I would love to buy at prices that are lower than this, but I don't think I'll get the opportunity to. Don't get scared. Be prepared. Truthfully expecting we probably bounce right around this pink line here at about 1.955 cents, and then from there we'll start to build out. I don't expect an immediate bounce all the way up, but maybe to end the week we start moving up toward 3 cents. Going into next week we start getting to these breakout points, and to end the month we're reaching for 10 cents, 8 cents, something in that kind of area would be my expectation. I got nothing else for you guys. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Bye-bye.